Hello everyone and welcome back to the Budget Gourmet. If you're new here, my name is Dan and I try to help you and your family create delicious meals all while saving a little bit of money. Today's video is going to be an interesting one. I was at Dollar Tree recently, perusing the snacks, if you will, and I came across something in the freezer section that just caught my eye. This is Dollar Tree salmon. I think it was $5 in the freezer section and I thought, let's try it, let's rate it, let's see if we can make a meal out of it. I see a lot of these videos floating around in terms of Dollar Tree and challenges, but I think I wanted to approach this video in sort of a different way. One of the things I think I have an issue with a lot of these challenges, like if you see on there like, oh, $10 challenge or whatever, is I feel like for most of the times it's like I'm spending $10 at the store, but I have $40 to $50 worth of ingredients back home. I recently learned of the term a food desert. I'm very thankful and blessed to live in an area where I have a lot of different grocery stores around me. Unfortunately, for a lot of people that live in some of these more areas where that's not as readily available, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, they might only have one option really when it comes to grocery stores. So I guess if you want to call this a challenge at any sense, the challenge for me in this case was everything I'm using in this recipe is going to be from Dollar Tree to sort of show like what you can do with the ingredients that you have there. But just see if we could do it and try to make a healthy meal for relatively cheap using only ingredients from the Dollar Tree. Hopefully this video helps you out and I can create more of these videos where I go to a Dollar General and I go to a Dollar Tree and we can try to share recipes and make delicious, healthy meals together using what we have. I'm super excited to get into this video, so without further ado, let's just hop right in. Thank you guys so much for all of your support and for continuing to watch. It really means a lot, and let's just hop right into the video. Okay, so first things first, we're going to prep our salmon. Since it was frozen prior, I just want to make sure to pat it dry, just using a couple of paper towels here to get rid of any excess moisture that might be in the salmon. We don't have a lot of steps in this recipe, so with the steps that we do have, we want to take our time and do them right. After our salmon has been prepped, we're just going to cube this up into little bite-sized pieces, as small or as big as you wish. After we have cut our salmon, we're going to transfer it to a bowl and start on our marinade. All I'm using for seasoning is some soy sauce, no excess salt, some Sriracha for a little bit of acidity, some black pepper. I wish I would have gotten some garlic powder or some onion powder, but I didn't think of it at the time. Very tired. And just a kiss of honey. And that's all you're going to be using for the marinade. After giving that a good mix, I'm going to cover this up and put it in my fridge for anywhere to around 45 minutes to an hour, making sure that all of that marinade gets into our salmon, but you can do it for as long as you wish. Now, while our salmon is chilling in the fridge, we're going to get our other ingredients prepped. I'm starting out with some rice here. I never measure. Use as much as you want, but make sure that you wash it until the water runs clear. A great tip to know how much water to put into your pot is to use this first notch on your finger. Fill it up to about there, and you will have fluffy, wonderful rice. Now, after you put your rice in your rice cooker, if you have one, make sure that you flip that little switch so it's actually cooking. The only other thing I'm going to be doing is getting our vegetables prepped and ready to go. They're already frozen and cut. I'm just putting them in a pot with a little bit of water, and we're going to let these steam away. Now it's time for the moment of truth. I was able to find some coconut oil. I'm going to start out by putting that in the pan and letting that just disperse, and make sure you get that pan all nice and greasy. Then we're just going to go straight in with our salmon. As you can see, I have this on a high-ish heat. I'm really looking to color that salmon, get it cooked really nice and well. So listen, this isn't sashimi, this isn't sushi grade. We want to make sure that this salmon is cooked all the way through. It definitely took longer than expected to get any sort of color on this salmon. I don't know what the issue was. Maybe the marinade was just a bit too much, but after a little bit of time, it did start to develop some color. The only thing you want to be really sure of is that you just make sure that it is cooked all the way through. You don't want to get sick eating any sort of seafood. Once our salmon has been cooked and it has been browned beautifully, we're just going to transfer that over to a plate and let that sort of cool down for a little bit. All of that beautiful flavor is actually trapped in our pan, so I decided to sort of do a quick little stir fry of my vegetables. I put our steamed veggies in and let that excess moisture in the veggies just soak up and let it pull up all of that flavor from our pan. Added a little bit of pepper and our dish was done. There weren't too many ingredients involved in this recipe, and I didn't want to do anything super complicated, nor did I really have a lot of crazy ingredients to mess around with. All that's left to do is plate this up. Pretty simple here. We're just adding a big portion of our rice, our salmon, and finishing it off with our vegetables. My goal for this recipe, and really every recipe, is for it to be for people from all walks of life. Nothing too complicated or fancy, but something just to be able to fill your stomach and be relatively healthy, all while still being affordable. Okay, so this is me after the taste test, and I just wanted to say that it actually wasn't horrible. I'd probably say it was a 5 out of 10. A faux pas on my part was it was a little bit too salty. I definitely should have added a little bit more honey. So the marinade was probably the thing that turned this dish into like a 5 out of 10. If the marinade was right, it probably would have been a 6 out of 10. I would suggest probably in terms of Dollar Tree items, this probably would have worked for a different sort of meat, whether that could have been like something canned or maybe even going to another place if you can find it, like an imitation crab or something. I think this would have worked a lot better. The salmon itself, it just had like sort of a weird texture. Well, maybe that was just my fault in cooking it. I think that the recipe was there. The marinade just needed a little bit of work on my part. It was a little bit too salty. Should have added a touch more sweetness. And it was hard to get any color on it. Maybe I just wasn't doing it right or something, or I didn't have the heat high enough. But anyway, I think this recipe was definitely not the worst thing I've eaten. We're just gonna keep trying to make these videos and try to see if we can improve and hopefully make a really, really good Dollar Tree recipe that has minimal ingredients and is going to be somewhat healthy. But everything else, the vegetables, the rice, obviously, good as anywhere else I've had it, definitely. Maybe I'm not the best judge when it comes to rating foods. I've definitely eaten more than my fair share of 7-Eleven hot dogs. How you doing? But anyway, that is all. I will see you next week with another video. Goodbye.